Howdy folks, Nathan Adlam here with the Fast Lane truck, and I'm next to the 2015 Ford F-150 Lariat 4x4 with the 2.7 liter EcoBoost V6. And we're going to do a mile-high gas mileage challenge. You like that? What we're going to do is we're going to take this vehicle and we're going to fill it to the brim with gas. Then we're going to take the sensors aboard, in other words, the system that comes with the Ford, to measure its gas mileage. After we do a loop and we come back here, we're going to put gas back in it and calculate exactly how much gas we have, the pump versus the electronics on board. And we're going to see if we come close to what Ford advertises, which is 23 miles per gallon on the highway. That's coming up next. Okay, so here we go, 87 octane. This is Colorado, you can get 85, but manufacturer recommends 87. I could sing and dance for you. This does have ethanol in it, by the way, in case you're curious. Not much we can do about that. A lot of gas here has ethanol. Okay, I'm going to step away from the pump for about 5 seconds. If there's any foam or extra air bubbles in there, it lets it settle down. And I'm going to do one more squeeze. All right? There we go. Finish. All right, whoa. Make absolutely sure all that gas gets in there. All right, and it's just that simple, and we're off to the races, or more importantly, we're off to a highway to do 45 minutes of boring driving. Hold down the OK button. Everything's reset. Well, just so you guys know, the camera is trained on me, but for transparency, there's a couple things. First of all, this truck is a pre-production model. Now, I expect that the regular model will get the same mileage and basically be the same truck, but just so you know. Secondly, we do have the crew in here, so that means there are 3 people in this vehicle. But the camera's just focused on me because I'm the most handsome. So right now we're in process of turning onto the highway to start shooting and driving. So a high majority of this trip will be highway miles, which is why we're aiming for the 23 miles per gallon that the EPA says this truck will get. Curious if we'll be close. Okay, so right now I'm at a stoplight, and the start-stop system did exactly what it's supposed to do. It shut the engine off. Now, in the short term, you're not going to see much of a difference, but over the long term, especially in city traffic with big trucks, you will see an extension, a growth of your gas mileage. I'm maintaining 65 miles per hour in cruise control. Right now the RPM is surprisingly low. The RPM's at like 15, 16, maybe 16.5. 1,650 RPM. For those of you who are keeping tabs, and getting real-world information just coming straight in. And actually, I really like the way the trip computer works with the Ford. Some of the other ones that are out there are a little bit more ambiguous, but this one, I like it. We're recording, and yeah, everything seems to be going according to plan, provided there's no heavy traffic in front of us. Oh, by the way, now we've done this run before, and it was 50 degrees outside. If you're curious about ambient temperature, right now it is 49 degrees. So we are really close to the parameters that we've used in the past with this test. And it does matter, temperature does matter. As far as I know, and as far as everything else on the truck, everything is fine. There is no extra drag. We do not have a trailer on, and Andre is not hanging out of the back of it with his arms spread out to create wind resistance. We've gone less than 10 miles and we're already up to its maximum EPA 23 miles per gallon. In fact, right now we're at 23 point feet. Let me explain something. For those of you who are wondering why we're going 65 miles per hour, we are in an area where you can drive legally 75 miles per hour. We're heading north on I-25, heading from Denver towards Cheyenne, Wyoming. And the reason we're doing this, there's several. One is, if we want to do this test again with a trailer, legally here, we can do it at 65 miles per hour. Now, I know in states like California, you can only go up to 55 miles per hour, but we're not in California. Also, this is a very good highway to maintain that speed, because even though we are in the slow lane and we have large trucks passing us from time to time, we are still within a safety zone. We are not going crazy under the mileage, in terms of having somebody on the fast lane going 45 when you're trying to go 80 or whatever. It's not like that. So this is for maximum safety, it's to maintain efficiency, and it's also easy for us to reproduce in another test. So that's why we're doing it, and that's why we're using 65 miles per hour as our average. If we have the air conditioning on, the answer is yes. Actually, we just turned it on. Air conditioners don't matter as much as they used to in terms of how much power they sap from the engine. There are technologies that take that out of the equation, such as being electronic, which means that it doesn't have to rely on a pulley powering anymore, which saps power from the engine. But the reason we are using the air conditioning is because we're getting some condensation from 3 warm bodies inside a vehicle that doesn't have air conditioning on. As such, you turn the air conditioning on and it takes a lot of that moisture out, and thus we have a clean windscreen. So that's why we're using it. Now, there is a side wind we're getting, and it's definitely coming from the west and pushing towards the east. Now, one of the things that we're doing is we're basically taking the same route, north and south, so the wind is hitting us at 2 angles. It mitigates some of the effects of the wind in terms of gas mileage. It's the most efficient way we know, and it's the best way we know in order to make this as even as we possibly can. We are going over I-25, and now we're going to start heading south. Just that simple. And just like before, I'm not being aggressive with the accelerator, I am being moderately aggressive. If I do get highly aggressive, Andre is here and he's going to shove the camera in a place where it doesn't shine. Just got cut off by a Schneider truck. The guy who drives it obviously never had a mother. But what it did was it took us out of our groove of maintaining 65 miles per hour and dropped us down to 60 for a little bit. Real world testing, these things are going to happen, but we were really hoping to get a super clean test. The good news is he's starting to speed up. After pissing off truckers left and right, we are starting to come to the end of our loop. We are at 40.3 miles, so we still have a little bit of highway driving to do to get there, but this is the major highway stuff is nearly done. And so far, going back and forth, it's been interesting because we're going uphill to finish this, and right now we're down, according to this computer, 22.8 miles per gallon. So were those numbers accurate that the EPA gave this truck? It's starting to sound that way. All right, shutting it down. 42.8 miles round trip. So just under 43 and at 23 miles per gallon exactly. Can you believe that? I just shut it off. So now we're going to fill up the gas tank and see the calculation from the gas pump if it matches, which so far 2 things have matched. What this has said and what the EPA has said, which is strange because I never felt that the EPA estimates were very accurate. Maybe they are. Alright guys, Andre just handed me the calculator. 23 miles per gallon, which is the EPA estimate for this truck on the highway, and it's what the computer showed. This is what we came up with our math versus what we did. Now if you can't see that, that's 22.8 basically. So that's within a very good margin of error. That's impressive. That basically means that Ford, at least with this truck and at least with the general driving of an average driver who's going to go on an interstate drive, is accurate. That's impressive. And this is a big ass truck. I mean, it's 4-wheel drive. That's impressive. Damn it. I was almost hoping it would be wrong, you know, so that way we go, oh, Ford, you made a mistake, haha. Now, I guess we're going to have to test all the trucks exactly the same way, on exactly the same route, to see what they do. Wow. Thanks for joining me, guys. For the Fast Lane Truck, this is Nathan Adlin. Don't forget to go to tfltruck.com for news, views, and real-world reviews, and real-world gas mileage that is blowing me away. My God, that's so accurate. That's just, it's almost wrong, but it can't be wrong. It can't be, right? Because, I mean, we measured it. Yeah, okay, we're good. See you guys.